Say it again for the people in the back. She said money does not make women more valuable. I've said it over and over, and she is correct. Women don't see it that way. I love her content because she's always spot on. Listen, how many times have I said that? And they're confused. They look like, oh, well, these men just need to level up. Ebony K. Williams said that. They don't have to do what you want them to do. Just because you made choices that's affecting you in a way that you didn't plan for. Just because you were career driven and wanted to make all the money that you say you make and all of that, and it yielded you single. That don't mean every man got to do what you want them to do. You want to try to force something on men. And this is why I say women project their nature onto men. Women project their feelings, their nature, all of it onto a man. You want men to do what you want them to do so that you can get what you want out of them. So you try to control a man. A man could have a career, a job, whatever you want, and be perfectly content in his career, his job, or whatever, making the money that he wants to make to sustain his life. But these women want to come in and control that, try to tell him you need, and he could love what he's doing. But these hyenas don't give a damn. You don't care if this man loves his job, he loves what he do, and he's happy doing it, and he makes a good living, but it's not what you think he should be doing or making. You want to come in and try to tell a man, why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? You don't want to level up? No, that's what you wanted to do. That was your goal, to go in and be a CEO, whatever it is you want it to be. And that's no problem, but you can't force men to come in and change things that they've created for themselves and things that they're happy with and change it into what you think and feel they should be doing. That's the problem, number one. A lot of these women are controlling. You want to control the men, but then complain about a man controlling you because you know that's what you would do. And once again, this is why you have a bunch of educated women complaining, talking about there aren't any good men out there. No, there are good men out there. They just don't want you, boo. And you don't want to accept the fact that, oh, I got all these degrees. I make 6 figures. You know, I look good. I'm well taken care of. Okay, kudos to you. You work hard for your lifestyle, then continue to live your lifestyle. You can't get mad if men aren't attracted to that. And it's not that they're intimidated, because that's the next thing they want to say. Oh, all these men are intimidated by my success. No, child. They're not intimidated by your success. They don't want what comes with that. And what comes with that is these entitled, combative women who gonna let you know on a daily how successful they are and how much money they have and how much you don't measure up. Because even the men who make more money than them don't want them, child. Even the men who make the 6 figures or more don't want them. They don't want a combative boss chick. They don't want a combative boss chick either. So you're stuck where you are. You got to go and get your own babies, IVF it up. You got to go pay all this money and get your baby by yourself, because no man don't want to have no baby with you. He don't want to marry you. He don't want to be with you because your attitude stinks. You've gotten so educated and so up there in your mind. You think you're the best thing since sliced bread, and you don't know how to communicate with a man. You want to belittle him. You think you're better than him. So you act in a manner that portrays yourself or shows yourself in that way. Nobody wants that. That's why I say it's not just about money. You could get a man with the money, he still don't want you. A man who makes less, who still do well, still don't want you, because you are just not a likable person. You're leading with your accolades and all of this because that's what makes you feel special. Because without that, you don't feel like you're worth anything. And your personality sucks. You know that you don't bring anything else to the table. You're not a fun person. You're not somebody that knows how to cooperate with a man or anybody. Usually those women are very uptight, very entitled, very nasty, very mean. They don't know how to have fun. You don't know how to just be a normal chick. You don't know how to just have a good time. You're uptight. Them men don't want that. They don't care about how much money you get. All that goes out of the window. This is why I say, listen, you gotta stop thinking that your education and your money is what makes you, because it does not. It does not. You can go take all the trips you want. You can buy what you want. You can live a good life. Ain't nobody complaining about that. But it's your mentality. It's your personality. It's all of that is a turn off to a lot of these men, no matter how much money they make. They don't want a problem. Nobody wants to be in a relationship with a person who always have a problem, always complaining. That gets old. So yeah, I think it's a reality check for a lot of these women to understand that, child, your money don't mean shit. These men don't care about that. You don't want to spend it. You're not gonna. You still want him to pay for everything. So why would he even worry about how much you make? It's not like you coming in and paying half because they don't want to go 50-50. They think, oh, that's a roommate. That's not a relationship. Well, just pay it all yourself and just be content with who you are and what you got. Because most people don't want to deal with you anyway, child. They think that the money and the degrees make them top tier. They think that the money is what make them better. And I'll say it till the wheels fall off. No, it doesn't. Money doesn't make you better. A degree doesn't make you better. A job doesn't make you better. You have to be a better person inside. That comes from within. There's no amount of money in the world or no amount of degrees in the world, no amount of makeup. None of that makes you a better person. None of that's just a facade. That's just an outward appearance. That's just an outward look at things. It doesn't make you a better person. If you want to be a better person, you have to take time and work on yourself. You really got to look at the negatives because we all have negatives and positives. Nobody's walking around here with everything all put together, everything right. No. Everybody has negatives and positives. You have to focus on the negatives within your life and get to the root of why you're negative and start to work on that. It's not impossible to work on yourself without blaming others. Look at the deep rooted things that you're dealing with as to why you're mean, why you're negative all the time, and work on that and figure out how to better yourself because that's only going to make you better for your children, possible husband, mate, or whatever, and friends, whoever. Because you're just sitting around thinking that I'm just going to accumulate all these degrees. I'm going to focus on myself, but I'm going to focus on myself and I'm going to get my master's degree and I'm going to focus on myself and I'm going to get my PhD and I'm going to focus on myself and I'm going to go get this and I'm going to get this. And thinking that that's going to somehow change the nature of who you are deep down is not. You're just going to have a PhD. You're going to have all these things and you're still going to be miserable within. You're still going to be mad at everybody else because you don't feel happy and content within yourself. And this is why you see people who were broke. They thought the issue was money. You get some money, you become rich. You still broken. You still unhappy. The money doesn't make you happy. Money allows you to get things. It's not a cure from your brokenness. It's not a cure. It's not to heal all of the trauma you've been through and all of the feelings and the things associated with the trauma you've been through. Money does not fix that. What fixes that is you working on yourself, taking the time to analyze those issues, go through the hurt, and the pain that's associated with it, deal with it, face it, not just sit back and put a Band-Aid over it and hide it and cover it up and push it to the back of your brain as if it didn't happen. But it constantly comes out in different ways. It comes out in your relationships. It comes out in how you treat your kids. It comes out in how you treat other people. It comes out on a daily basis. You see these people are dealing with different traumatic experiences that they've never dealt with because it comes out in many different ways. And a lot of those ways have a lot to do with how people respond and interact in relationships. So when you're in a relationship with somebody that's loud and combative and going off all the time, that's some hurt and trauma that they've never dealt with. And they take it out on the closest people to them. So you and possibly the kids and all of these things. And that's a very dangerous way to deal with your trauma. You can't harbor those feelings and you can't push them way back and act like they're not there and just pretend that you've gotten over them when you really haven't. And then when somebody says something that triggers that in you, you come out raging because it's an issue. It's an issue that you have never dealt with or accepted. And this is why you need therapy or somebody to talk to constantly focus on those things, talk about it, get it out, cry, whatever you got to do to get through to that trauma and get past it or get over it and learn how to maneuver within it. Then you'll become a better person. You won't have these attitudes. Because when I see a lot of women with these attitudes, I notice it's trauma behind it. They're just not talking that way for no reason. It's something behind it, but they've never worked on their issues. So that's just how it comes out. A lot of men are to the point now where they're like, we don't care, child. And I see it all the time. And you can't blame them because a lot of women don't care about the trauma that men have gone through. They don't care about nothing they've been there. Look, you got to man up and do what you need to do and handle your responsibilities. They don't. So a lot of men are like, they don't care.